Spoilers for this, and this.
Shotgun Willie sits around in his underwear, lighting on a bullet, pulling out all his hair. Shotgun Willie got all his family there. Well, you can't make a record if you...
For this part, I want to discuss a main complaint that is usually leveled when it comes to the ending of Lost. I would argue it might be the go-to explanation for people's dismissal of the ending entirely. It's so overwhelmingly felt, I'll let the Joker explain it.
Well, here's the thing. Answers don't give you everlasting satisfaction. Sometimes you need to brace yourself for disappointment. Now think about it. Imagine your favorite TV show. You've been through it all, the ups, the downs, the crazy coincidences, and then bang! They tell you what it's all about. Would you be happy? Does it make sense? How come it all ended in a church?
The fact that it ended in a church. It seems like it wouldn't be that big of a deal where it ended. But I feel like the outrage over this leads me into one of the most important characters in storytelling, the setting. So, when dealing with short-form storytelling formats, for example, let's say a film, a short story, a poem, a play, anything based around a single experience inside of a world, usually, not always, but usually setting takes a backseat to character and plot-driven structures. You don't think about the location in No Country for Old Men, you think about the character's movement through these locations to further the plot. Since the experience in this form of storytelling is shorter usually being around 2 to 3 hour mark, usually one event happens in that location from short form structures. One, maybe two emotions are connected to it. It's harder for the audience to develop a connection to the world as a whole as opposed to the characters and events inside said world. On the other hand, for long-form storytelling formats, for argument, let's say a television series, a series of novels, a video game, an experience that usually clocks in around 20 to 30 hours. Setting becomes vital because a setting lets us track character growth and progression by seeing these qualities in context of a lived-in environment. Because of this, some of the most visceral aspects of our most beloved stories are the environments themselves. The Shire from Lord of the Rings, the Fisher and Sons funeral home from 6 Feet Under, the Gold Saucer amusement park in Final Fantasy VII. For those familiar with these locales, you instantly connect emotionally with fond memories from these fictional environments, which really speaks to the power of a setting in long-form storytelling. It's not just a single story that you associate with this environment, but multiple stories of various tones creating complex feelings towards these locations, the same way you feel about real-world settings in your own life. In great long-form storytelling, they will go one step further so that we associate the environment with the thematic structure of the story as a whole. The story uses its setting in such a dynamic way, the audience views that setting as a character, and, as with any character, should change and evolve inside the story and resolve at the end. Let's look at Hogwarts from Harry Potter in terms of a complex character. Harry Potter is a normal kid until he's invited to study at Hogwarts. Harry boards a mysterious train that is full of potential and excitement for him. Thematically, Hogwarts represents Harry's untapped potential to become the person he was destined to be. Throughout the books, the locations, teachers, and friends at Hogwarts literally teach him how to become this person. We see the character of Hogwarts terrified under the lockdown from Sirius Black. We see Hogwarts charged up for the Triwizard Tournament of Goblet of Fire. We see the school imprisoned and then under revolt from Dolores Umbridge in the Order of the Phoenix. And we see Hogwarts under attack during the Deathly Hallows and saved at the end of the series. I mean, that is quite a bit of character complexity for a fictional location. So now that we established Hogwarts as a complex character, how do we resolve Hogwarts as a character? Rowling bookends us back to the train station, the train to Hogwarts that Harry took off from so many years ago. But now instead of boarding the train himself, he is sending his kid to embark on his own adventures. It reminds us that Hogwarts will always be there to help young people achieve their potential. Lord of the Rings starts in the Shire, takes an epic quest away from the Shire only to arrive back home with a new appreciation for the peaceful locale. The Wire ends with the skyline of Baltimore, the place this enormous cast of ever-evolving characters calls home. Cheers is a show about a bar and ends with turning off the lights in the bar for the very last time. So Lost. Lost is a show about a cast of characters lost on an island. The island is beautiful, deadly, mysterious, and everything in between. The island is threatened and protected, attacked and rescued, lost in time and found at a cost. The island has a will. It has a plan. It makes people special and demands sacrifices. It's not through with you, and even when you go away, you have to go back. And when you threaten to destroy it entirely, it is saved, and so are we. And then there's this church. It's in California. Looks pretty nice. I mean, it's a nice church. It's pretty clean. There's a nice room in the back, so you got that. That's nice. Stairs outside look pretty well kept stairs. Yep. There it is. I have to wonder if they did this exact same homecoming scene on the beaches of the island, if there would be so much hate towards this ending. I think few people have a problem with the very last shots of the show, like Jack's back in the same bamboo forest, but this time he's not alone. He was scared, but now he's comforted. Instead of a plane crashing, a plane is taking off. Instead of an eye opening, it closes. I mean, that's pretty good. And usually people let that part slide because it fits for the arc of these characters in this location. There's nothing wrong with the church. I just don't know anything about this church. Like, what if Harry Potter ended with Harry taking his kid in an airplane to a college in New York? I mean, would you feel the same way? I mean, the basic idea is present about Harry taking his kid to school. It just doesn't line up. What if in The Wire, McNulty moved to Chicago at the end, was like, yep, now I'm going to be a cop here. Like, that would be peculiar. Or if in Lord of the Rings, Sam becomes king of Rivendell and is like, yeah, the Shire's nice, but I'm king here, so let's stay here. Yes, there is more to Lost than just the island, but like so many of my grievances with this show, I don't think this character was being taken care of. I honestly have to wonder if they were in a church as like a throwback to the man of science, man of faith device. Like, man of science, man of faith is a tool used to bring up the duality of human interpretation. It's not like a literal question of which is better, science or faith. Did they think it was an actual question? Did they think it was a literal question? Because if that's the case, they think there's an actual answer to that question, and it's faith. I mean, it's not weird that it's faith. It's weird that they think there is an answer. It'd be weird if, like, science was right and they ended up in some, like, random laboratory or something where they're all hugging, holding test tubes to show that science is the right answer. I mean, they are both just weirdly ridiculous. So as I start to enter the end game of Lost, I start to think about the future of this channel and the obvious newer show that I have an incredible amount to discuss and ultimately ended up giving me an amazing amount of closure in relation to Lost. It starts with an L that uses so many of the same ideas present in Lost. I'm sure as Lost fans, you all know exactly what I'm thinking, right? Yep, Last Man on Earth. A group of survivors, slowly adding to their party. Another survivor that has a past with our main character turns out to be secretly still alive. Features a hatch and a disease of unknown origin. Storming of the survivor's location using a boat and weapons resulting in the death of one of the invaders. The leader of the invaders turning out to be the villain, and the invader who joins the party is a likable, wisecracking Asian actor with graying hair. It's a pretty funny show, you should watch it. But I was talking about leftovers. More Lost to come.